Hello and welcome to another edition of the Cantina of Comics.
Today we're going to show you how to make a margarita that you can drink before you go out on a rebel raid.
Yeah, blow up that Death Star. Alderaan chunks everywhere! And we're going to be talking bounty hunters and Star Wars as we take a look at some comics. Welcome to the Cantina of Comics. I'm Matt.
And I'm Kristi.
And what are we mixing today?
This looks
fancy.
We're going to make a Rebelrita.
A Rebelrita?
A Rebelrita.
Okay, so this is going to be our take on a margarita. All right.
So first, you're going to take 3 ounces of tequila.
Okay.
Now, the first time I had tequila was a few years ago with our friends Tony and Judai. We did shots, and ooh, is that a good feeling?
For some reason, I can't remember most of that evening, but I do remember that the Patron was flowing.
That was very good.
Okay, so that's 3 shots.
That was 2 shots.
Oh, no, this is going to take 3 shots. Okay. 3 shots of that.
We're going to do, here.
Thank you.
2 ounces of lime juice, which it's freshly squeezed, and I already went ahead and measured it out.
Okay.
So. And then we'll take 1 ounce of the orange liqueur, so we just have some triple sec here.
Nice, so you got a little citrus, you got a little orange and a little lime for it. Nice.
And this is the stuff I think you said tasted like motor oil a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, not motor oil, orange fuel.
Oh. Then this is simple syrup, and all simple syrup is a cup of water and a cup of sugar, and you kind of boil it over the stove and mix it together. And okay, and so
now
we're going to shake this
begins.
for 30 seconds supposedly.
Okay, so do you want me to time you? You know, by the time I find a timer, well, we can't sing the Jeopardy theme because we'll get demonetized. Hold on, I'm about to find a timer on my clock. Okay, ready? That's cold. Okay, go.
Done. Okay.
Oh, that was only 3 seconds.
Then you're going to take a lime wedge and you're going to run it around the rim of your glass. Whoa. Okay. You want to do one?
I'll do this one over here. Okay, I'll grab this one over here. Okay.
And then I've mixed sugar and salt and actually zest of lime.
Okay.
And then so you'll run it.
Very cool.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead and put that.
Okay. That looks nice.
Oh yeah, nice.
Pretty, honey.
It's tasty too.
Did we want to do a little ice? Do you think we'll be all right without it?
Let's try it without the ice. Okay. I know the recipe calls for ice-filled glasses, but let's just try it this way and see what happens. Ooh. I
think I got more than you.
That's fine. You'll probably drink more than me, so. Every drop. Okay, so just a few ingredients, pretty easy. Probably the most time-consuming. We might most likely be making the simple syrup.
Well, and actually squeezing the limes as well.
And squeezing the lime. Okay, you need a lime squeezer. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. This is a. That was the weakest clink ever. Let's try it again without.
I'm afraid to spill it.
Okay, ready? Okay.
Okay, ready?
Pathetic clinks. Okay, here we go. This is a Rebelrita. Oh, that tequila hits you smack in the face. Wow.
Yeah, I think I can make that on a regular basis.
Yeah, that's not too shabby. Okay.
Oh, yum.
Woo.
I can finish yours if you don't want it all. It's okay. You don't have to work tonight, so you know.
Yeah, that's true. So I might as well take advantage of this, but that is a stiff drink. Okay, so that is how you make a Rebelrita. Coming up, we're going to talk Star Wars and bounty hunters coming up next. And welcome back to the Cantina of Comics. Today we're talking about Bounty Hunters number 9 and Star Wars number 11. Let's start with Bounty Hunters. This issue is the Terminus Gauntlet Part 2 Squadron of One, written by Ethan Sachs with art by Paolo Villanelli and colors by Arif Peranto. We open this issue with Bounty Hunter Valance in a flashback to his time as a cadet with the Imperial Navy. Valance has been shot down on Howlan and is all alone. We get to see how he lost his left eye and how all the other Imperial cadets who he thought left him come back for him, including a certain Han Solo. Transition to present time, and Valance is on the run from Captain Scragg and the Onaka gang with the bounty hunter Dengar in tow. Valance lands barely on a disabled rebel transport and meets up with Commander Hill Purpura, who locks up the mercenary. Purpura plans to surrender to the pirates, but Valance has other plans. Our interlude involves Losha Tarkhan arriving on Rusan to meet up with the rebel cell, where then she discovers a certain someone is not as dead as we are led to believe. Back to Valance and the disabled rebel transport as he convinces a mechanic to release him so he can take the last X-Wing out to take on the pirates. And now here are my quick takes on Bounty Hunters issue number 9. Once again, Paolo Villanelli does a great job on the artwork in the issue, and the one thing that just occurred to me is that a lot of people talk in the comic book while they're frozen in place by the artwork. So to show them doing things like yelling, the artist shows the intensity by having their mouths wide open, kind of like this. And so when you get a few of them on the same page, it kind of looks interesting. Valance's ship, the Broken Wing, can do some pretty cool things, although it's going to need some significant repairs after this issue. Also, it's nice to see that a certain character is back from the dead, although the 3-word balloon explanation of how they survived is a little suspicious. And finally, how much of Valance is a cyborg? Apparently he does not need a spacesuit to be in outer space. Now let's move over to Star Wars issue number 11, Operation Starlight Part 3, The Last Hope. This one's written by Charles Soule with art by Jan Bazaldua and colors by Rochelle Rosenberg. At the end of the last issue, we left with a standoff between Lando Calrissian and Kes Dameron. The link between the translation droid and the rebels are using to communicate to Starlight Squadron is killing Lobot, but Kes needs the link to remain open so that the squadron, which includes Dameron's wife Shara Bey, can get back home. Meanwhile, the newly formed Starlight Squadron discovers that the 6th Fleet has been decimated by the Empire, and they're now caught in the tractor beams of the Star Destroyer, the Tarkin's Will. Shara Bey hatches a plan that will get her squadron free from the Imperials, but it means that she's going to be left behind. And here are my quick takes on Star Wars issue number 11. Again, it's C-3PO to the rescue as he saves the day once again. 3PO references his maker, but because his mind has been wiped at the end of Revenge of the Sith, he doesn't remember who that maker is. We also learned that 3PO has a AA-1 Verbo brain. Lando has his doubts about the rebellion and is in communication with Bib Fortuna, may he rest in peace. And we see that Return of the Jedi is not the first time that Jabba the Hutt has thrown somebody into the Sarlacc pit. So what did you think of Bounty Hunters issue number 9 and Star Wars issue number 11? Let us know what you think. Just go to the Utini Discord page and then look up EU Comics. Okay, we're just sitting here drinking our Rebelritas, and they're really good.
Lightweight.
And they're very yummy. I am not a lightweight.
You are. You had 2 sips. And
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm staying home tonight.
Oh.
So let's talk about, both of us well, one more than other, love Star Wars. But you're kind of along for the ride.
What was it you said the other day? By proxy?
By proxy,
yeah,
yes. You're a Star Wars fan by proxy.
Love it by proxy. Ask me all sorts of questions.
Yes.
I have all kinds of answers for you.
But here's one question I do have for you. What is your favorite Star Wars memory?
So, you a few years ago started dragging me to Comic-Con.
Kicking and screaming.
Yes, originally, and now I actually miss it quite a bit. But typically, your factor of whether we go or not has to do with which Star Wars
yes.
character is going to be there.
Yes.
So one year in particular, Carrie Fisher was there, and let's see, we were with Olivia and Garrett and
Our
you
kids.
And me, and we were just up to be the next person to get to have our pictures taken with
It was
her.
a long line.
It was a very
yeah.
long line.
So we'd waited quite a while.
Yeah, and we finally get to, be the next people to have our pictures taken with her, and she says, you know what? She had her dog Gary with her, and she's like, I think Gary needs a potty break. And she looks at us and she's like, is it okay with you if we just run and take the dog potty, and we'll be right back? And so
I said, you're the princess, you can do anything you want.
well, and of course we understand dogs,
right.
so
yes, we do.
of course, go take your dog. So we get back and she's like, come on, come and get your picture taken. So she says, I'm so tired of this bar stool she's been sitting on all day getting her picture taken. And so she says, do you mind just sitting on the ground with me? And so
once again, you're the princess, you can do anything you want.
And so we all kind of sit down on the ground, and she's like, it's me and you were right over here and the kids, and she sits down kind of in the middle of us, and the next thing I know, she's just leaning right over on my lap, and I'm like, holy moly, Carrie Fisher is leaning on me. And of course, Gary was in the picture, and it was
with
a
his
lot
tongue
of fun.
hanging out.
Yeah.
He's a French bulldog. And,
yeah, that was
pretty
probably
special.
my favorite. Yeah,
pretty special. I think mine had to be my buddy got married down in California, and this is 1999 when episode 1 came out. And so we were in the wedding, and so we flew down. It was Saturday morning.
Yeah.
We flew down on a Saturday morning, and then the rehearsal dinner was that night. Oh, maybe it was a Friday.
I think it was a weekday, but yeah.
Okay. So we flew down, did the rehearsal dinner, did the rehearsal, and here it is, 8, 9 o'clock at night. And it's like, well, what did we do? Well, we were just minutes away from the old Chinese Man's Chinese Theater, and they were showing episode 1. And now, if you know anything about the history of Star Wars in the Chinese theater, that's where it debuted. And so we got to see episode 1, and because it was such a long day, a long flight, kind of fell asleep during the movie. It had been my 10th time seeing episode 1 in the theater, and but the pod racing scene woke me back up.
Yeah.
So, but it was just kind of a really special experience to see a Star Wars movie where Star Wars started. And then afterwards, walking out, it's like, here's Harrison Ford's handprints, Darth Vader's handprints, C-3PO's handprints and footprints, R2-D2's footprints, Chewbacca. And it was just a real special Star Wars moment. So
that's cool. It was a lot of fun, and you say that we all kind of slept through it, but in all honesty,
she sleeps through all the movies. What was it Avengers movie where you woke up in the middle and was like, well, what's going on?
Oh, there's a lot of movies that I have woken up in the middle of. I am that person.
And she calls me a lightweight.
Hey, when it comes to sleep, I can drink, but when I'm tired.
And the drink puts you to sleep. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Cantina Comics. Thanks for watching. Go to our YouTube page, Utini, youtube.com/Utini, and you can see all of our videos there. If you want to check out some books that are coming out, of course, Light of the Jedi, great review there, just lots of stuff. So go to youtube.com/Utini. So, thanks for watching, and remember, keep on reading and keep on drinking. That one was a little bit better.
Yeah. It was more intentional.